So deep in the mountains of Iran, there's a construction project going on 24/7. At the very same time, halfway across the world in Geneva, diplomats are talking. In today's Explainer, we're going to break down this terrifying race between concrete and conversation and how it has pushed the US and Iran right to the edge of war. Okay, so let's just dive right in. A few days ago, the New York Times published a report with this single chilling sentence. Now, you have to pay attention to the words here. Abnormally high. That's not a phrase you just throw around. It's code. It signals that the risk of war isn't just elevated, it's suddenly become very, very real. Right? You just don't put your most advanced, most expensive, nuclear-capable bombers on this kind of standby for no reason. This isn't just some routine drill or a way to send a political message. No, this was a direct response to some very specific intelligence. So the question is, what did they see that made them get ready for a mission right now? Well, the answer lies in a remote Iranian mountain. They call it Pickaxe Mountain, and a very specialized American weapon that was designed for one single purpose: to destroy whatever is being built deep inside of it. It all comes down to a classic contest: the fortress versus the sword.
And this, right here, is the heart of the whole conflict. On one side, you've got Iran building a fortress, a nuclear facility so deep that they believe it's going to be untouchable. And on the other side, you've got America's sword, the B-2 bomber carrying this monster of a bomb, the GBU-57 bunker buster. So the billion-dollar question for military planners is pretty simple. Is the sword still sharp enough for this new fortress?
So this term right here, headworks, might seem technical, but trust me, it is the smoking gun. It's basically a super reinforced entrance to a tunnel. When intelligence satellites spot these things being built, it's a dead giveaway. It means Iran is getting ready to bury this new facility deeper than any we have ever seen before. And this number is the core of the problem: 120 meters. To put that in perspective, their last super deep facility at Fordow was about 60 meters down. So they're literally doubling down, trying to push this new site so far underground that our existing conventional weapons just can't reach it. And that, my friends, changes the entire game. And this is the kind of power we're talking about to meet that challenge. This 30,000-pound bomb, it's an absolute beast, designed to punch through tons of rock and concrete. But here's the catch. Even this thing has its limits. And a target buried 120 meters deep? Well, that is pushing right up against those limits. Or maybe, just maybe, it's already past that.
And here's something else you gotta understand. This force is incredibly small and precious. The United States has only 18 operational B-2 stealth bombers in the entire world. That's it. So sending even a few of them on a mission like this is a massive gamble, a huge commitment of a strategic asset that is, frankly, irreplaceable.
But, this isn't just about bombs and bombers. Because at the exact same time all of this is happening, diplomats are sitting around a table in Geneva talking. And that's the double game we're seeing. Both sides are talking peace, but they're acting like they fully expect those talks to fail. And make no mistake, Iran is absolutely playing this double game. While their diplomats are in Geneva, look at what they're doing back home. They're putting up new roofs to hide what they're building from satellites. They're installing blast walls at secret sites. They're digging new chambers for testing nuclear triggers and moving in more air defenses. I mean, come on. These are not the actions of a country that's serious about de-escalation. And then there's this threat, which just adds a whole other layer of pressure. Withdrawing from the Non-Proliferation Treaty, the NPT, that's basically the diplomatic version of going completely rogue. It's exactly what North Korea did right before they went for a bomb. And it would mean the last shred of international oversight on Iran's program would just vanish. So when you put all of this together, the digging, the bomber alerts, the diplomatic threats, what you get is this terrifying race against time. With every single day that passes, the window for finding a way out of this without a war gets smaller and smaller. And just look at this timeline. You can see how dramatically everything has sped up. Less than a year ago, the US launched strikes to try and set the program back. But then, fast forward to just the last few weeks, and we've gone from a brief quiet period right back to the brink of another, and potentially much, much bigger conflict. The crucial thing to get here is that there's a threshold. There is a point of no return. Once Iran finishes this facility, gets it operational at that 120-meter depth, the option to destroy it with a conventional military strike, well, it basically just disappears. And at that point, the world will have to face a new and almost certainly irreversible reality. So you might be thinking, why does a hole being dug in a mountain in Iran matter to me, to the rest of the world? Well, because the fallout from this crisis, whether it ends in war or with an Iranian nuclear weapon, it absolutely will not stay contained in the Middle East. Experts have been warning about this for years. They call it the nuclear domino effect, and this is the terrifyingly logical way it would play out. Iran gets a bomb, so then Saudi Arabia gets a bomb to balance them out. Once that happens, Turkey and Egypt feel like they have to get one too, just for their own security. And the result? The most volatile region on Earth is suddenly filled with nuclear-armed states, and the entire global system designed to prevent exactly this just collapses. And listen, this isn't just some academic theory. This is stated policy. The leader of Saudi Arabia has been crystal clear about it. This makes a regional nuclear arms race a certainty, not a possibility, if Iran crosses that line. Which brings us right here to the final grim calculation that everyone is facing. Both diplomacy and military action are running on the exact same clock. The window of opportunity for either one is literally being measured in how many days of construction are left at Pickaxe Mountain. And as you can see, both pads are just loaded with catastrophic risk. And that really leaves us with the one central, terrifying question of this entire crisis. With those concrete mixers turning and trucks moving 24/7, deep in an Iranian mountain, this whole thing now comes down to a simple, brutal race. Can words move faster than machinery?